Representing the graduates, Sister Fatima binti Abdul Raza from Kuliah of Science will now deliver her valedictory speech.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajmain. His Excellency Mr. Shafi U. Ahmed, High Commissioner, High Commission of the People's Republic of Bangladesh and member of the IIUM Majlis. Yang berbahagia, Profesor Datuk Dr. Said Arabi Aidid, Rector of the International Islamic University, Malaysia. Professor Dr. Muhammad Azmi Omar, Chairman of the 22nd IIUM Convocation. Deputy Rectors, His Excellencies, Majlis members and Board of Governors, Vice Chancellors, Senate members, Dean and Directors, lecturers, Tan Sri, Datuk, honorable guests, graduates of International Islamic University Malaysia, parents, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome all to the 22nd IIUM Convocation Ceremony. Your Excellency and distinguished guests, please allow me to begin with bahasa Melayu. Bertahun menuntut, mencari ilmu, suka duka, resam perjalanan, ucapan tahniah tulus dariku, ijazah digenggam, tanda kejayaan. Hadirin sekalian, graduan institusi pengajian tinggi merupakan asas kekuatan bagi pertumbuhan negara dan pembangunan ekonomi. Salah satu fokus utama Rancangan Malaysia ke-9 ialah pembangunan modal insan melalui pembentukan pelajar yang berkualiti. IPT memainkan peranan yang sangat penting dalam merealisasikan fokus ini dengan membina personaliti unggul melalui pemikiran kelas pertama yang menekankan intelek dan akhlak mulia. Ladies and gentlemen, to be honest, I do not know much about human capital development, well, this topic I was given. Being a mathematical science student, human psyche isn't exactly my field. Well, I could have done a technical write-up with all the difficult jargons, but I finally decided to be frank and tell my own story. My parents had me at a very young age of 21. Despite being undergraduates at the time and not having much time or money, they tried so hard to instill the passion for learning in me. They tried their best to provide me with educational toys and books to keep me occupied. At one point, I was so into books that I would pester my parents to read me book after book, time and time again. Somehow, they cleverly managed to juggle the task of studying and being full-time parents. That was 22 years ago. Even today, the culture of learning is still strongly rooted in my family. If there's anything I can tell you about human capital development, I would have to say, learn from my parents. Embed the love for knowledge as early as possible. I strongly believe that the passion for knowledge is the necessary boost and the missing key element needed in order to obtain the first-class mentality as outlined in the 9th Malaysia Plan. Thanks to my parents, lifelong learning has become something I hold dearly to my heart and firmly trust in. Of course, this isn't a new issue at all. In Islam, there's a common hadith that goes, "Utlubul ilma minal mahdi ilal lahdi," which simply means that we were born as knowledge seekers and we should also die as knowledge seekers. Ladies and gentlemen, lifelong learning is the idea that learning can and does occur beyond the formal structure of an educational institution and throughout one's lifetime. In other words, lifelong learning is the ongoing acquisition of knowledge or skills even after the end of one's formal education. Human beings grow through the acquisition of knowledge. There is an Arabic poem entitled Al-Mar'u bi'ilmi, which means that the value of a person can be measured in terms of his or her knowledge. تعلم فليس المرء يولد عالما وليس أخو علم كمن هو جاهل وإن كبير القوم لا علم عنده صغير إذا التفت عليه الجهافل وإن صغير القوم إن كان عالما كبير إذا ردت إليه المحافل. The poem emphasizes on how everyone should learn, since no one was born knowledgeable, and also on how knowledge differentiates and empowers people. In my opinion, if the empowerment of human capital is desired, then lifelong learning is the way to go. Graduating does not imply that one's portion of learning in life has been fulfilled. The IIUM itself has long emphasized the development of human capital through its mission of producing quality individuals by integrating faith, knowledge, and good character, which is comparable to nurturing a first-class mentality in terms of emphasizing on the intellect and moral aspect. The vision of triple ICE, which includes comprehensive excellence, is also in line with the first-class mentality, which requires well-rounded individual. Therefore, when we IIUM graduates go out into the world, we have a responsibility of setting a good example to the people around us and start a new culture with a first-class mentality in mind. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, members of the IIUM community. My father went through an operation in March. He was suffering acute pain from a prolapsed disc that was crushing a nerve and was hospitalized for more than 2 weeks. When these things happen, it makes you ponder and start re-evaluating your life, taking into account worst-case scenarios of what would happen if your parents weren't there for you anymore. Sometimes you forget to appreciate what you have. My father called me from the hospital on my birthday, still remembering it, although he was in pain. That was when I realized that it takes a lot of effort and love to keep the family together. Even more so, since I had to take charge of 5 younger brothers and a 3-year-old sister while my mother was attending to my father at the hospital. There was so much to do, and even little things like remembering your birthday mattered. I came to realize that my parents do more than simply provide food on the table. Anyone could do that. It's them being there when you need them the most. It's the love and guidance they give you. It's the effort they put into you that makes a difference. I thank God that my father has been successfully operated on, and both of them are here today. Even though he still has to undergo therapy from time to time and can't walk as fast as before, at least he spends a lot more time at home now. I'm just happy that they are still around and pray that they will still be here for many years to come. I guess what I'm trying to say is that without my parents, I wouldn't be here today. Although I don't necessarily agree with everything they tell me to do and usually see things differently from them, but Mr. Abdul Razak Abu Bakar and Mrs. Salina Muhammad Zain, I want both of you to know that I'm truly grateful for everything you did. I love you very much. Fellow graduates, have I told you that I'm tremendously proud of being here today? Proud of having the honor of being in this dignified hall. Proud that I received a scroll that will forever change my life. Proud that I can finally call myself a graduate and securely say that all the efforts I've put into these past years will be worthwhile. I'm sure most, if not all of you, feel the same. Having said that, as an IIM graduate, or simply a motivated human being for that matter, one should never be overly satisfied with one's achievement. A degree is simply a piece of paper that's worth nothing if the skills and knowledge obtained through the course of securing it serve no purpose in real life. As I look back on my past to consider my future, I reflect on the fact that these past 3 years have been revolutionary, inspirational, and indeed memorable. There were ups and downs, happy, enjoyable times, intensely stressing and difficult times as well. One of the most important lessons I have learned at the IIUM is that there are a lot of choices to be made in life, and waiting for an answer to be shoved in front of your face is not the solution. Go out there, find the answer, do something about it, be proactive, but never forget one most important thing, one that I myself often forget. Never stop seeking the guidance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for it is He who knows best. After this, we shall no longer be called undergraduates. And for my part, there are a lot of people I have to thank for that. To my family, who has always been patient and extremely supportive of my actions, you mean the world to me. To Kuliah of Science educators, relentlessly and unselfishly quenching our endless thirst for knowledge, you are all gems. To friends that have always been there for me, you are irreplaceable. The honor which was thus granted to me is shared by all. Thank you for putting up with me and helping me grow as an individual. I sincerely believe that each and every one of you are strong individuals with more potential than you might give yourself credit for. We've had what it takes to be a winner inside us all along. Carry the IIUM mission at all times, embark on lifelong learning, and strive to be the best in everything you do. Do not be afraid to be different. Be different. Make a difference. Graduation is not the end, it is only the beginning. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.